In the early days of the Roman Empire, Christianity emerged not just as a set of beliefs, but as a powerful movement that would reshape the world. The first Christians gathered in humble homes, sharing simple meals, heartfelt prayers, and stories of Jesus' life and teachings. Their message of unconditional love, radical equality, and the promise of eternal life resonated deeply, spreading like wildfire through bustling cities and quiet villages alike. These early Christian communities were characterized by their intimate nature and strong sense of unity. Believers would come together in private spaces, often under the cover of night, to worship, learn, and support one another. These gatherings were more than just religious services. They were the lifeblood of a growing movement, fostering deep connections and unwavering faith among its members. At the heart of these meetings were shared meals, known as agape feasts or love feasts. These communal dinners served as a powerful symbol of the equality and brotherhood that Christianity preached. Rich and poor, slave and free, men and women, all sat together as equals at the table. A radical concept in the hierarchical Roman society, the breaking of bread and sharing of wine held special significance, reminding believers of Jesus' Last Supper and his sacrifice. Prayer was another cornerstone of these early gatherings. Christians would lift their voices together in praise, petition, and thanksgiving. These collective prayers strengthened their faith and reinforced their sense of community. They also spent time studying and discussing the teachings of Jesus, as passed down by the apostles and early church leaders. This focus on education and understanding helped to solidify the core beliefs of the faith and prepare believers to share their message with others. The spread of Christianity throughout the Roman Empire was nothing short of remarkable. The tireless efforts of the apostles and early missionaries played a crucial role in this expansion. Men like Paul, Peter, and countless unnamed evangelists traveled far and wide, preaching the gospel and establishing new communities of believers wherever they went. Ironically, the very infrastructure that made Rome a formidable empire also facilitated the rapid spread of Christianity. The extensive network of well-maintained roads and bustling trade routes became highways for the gospel message. Merchants, soldiers, and travelers who encountered Christianity in one part of the empire could easily carry the news to distant lands. The message of Christianity found fertile ground in many hearts across the empire. Its promise of salvation and eternal life offered hope to those struggling under the weight of Roman rule. The emphasis on equality and the inherent worth of every individual, regardless of social status, was particularly appealing in a society marked by stark divisions. For many, the idea of a loving God who cared for them personally was a radical and transformative concept. However, as Christianity grew, it faced significant challenges within Roman society. This new faith, with its monotheistic beliefs and refusal to participate in traditional Roman religious practices, was often misunderstood and viewed with suspicion. Early Christians found themselves navigating a complex social landscape, where their beliefs could lead to exclusion, rejection, or worse. The refusal of Christians to participate in the imperial cult, which involved offering sacrifices to the emperor as a divine figure, was particularly problematic. This was seen not just as a religious issue, but as a potential act of political disloyalty. Christians were sometimes labeled as atheists for their rejection of the Roman pantheon, a dangerous accusation in a society where religion and state were deeply intertwined. Many Roman leaders viewed the growing Christian movement with alarm. They feared that this new faith, with its emphasis on a kingdom not of this world, might undermine the stability of the empire. This suspicion led to various forms of persecution, ranging from social ostracism to more violent suppression. Christians often found themselves excluded from certain professions, social gatherings, or public offices due to their faith. They might be passed over for promotions, lose business opportunities, or face strained relationships with family and friends who did not understand or accept their beliefs. In some cases, Christians were forced to choose between their faith and their livelihoods, a test that many faced with remarkable courage. The refusal of Christians to participate in traditional Roman religious festivals and ceremonies created tension within communities. These events were not just religious observances, but important social occasions that helped bind society together. By abstaining, Christians sometimes found themselves labeled as antisocial or even as enemies of the state. Despite these challenges, or perhaps because of them, Christianity continued to grow and strengthen. The persecution faced by early believers often had the opposite effect of what their opponents intended. Instead of stamping out the faith, it seemed to fan its flames. Stories of Christians standing firm in their beliefs, even in the face of severe consequences, inspired others and drew more people to the faith. The courage displayed by martyrs and confessors became legendary within the Christian community. Tales of believers who chose death over denying their faith circulated widely, strengthening the resolve of others and attracting new converts who were moved by such unwavering commitment. The famous statement attributed to Tertullian, that the blood of martyrs is the seed of the church, captured this phenomenon. The unity and mutual support demonstrated by Christian communities during times of persecution also played a crucial role in the faith's growth. Believers rallied around those who were suffering, providing practical and emotional support. This tangible expression of love and solidarity stood in stark contrast to the often harsh realities of Roman society, drawing many to investigate this faith that inspired such devotion. As Christianity faced these external pressures, it developed a resilience that would serve it well in the centuries to come. The struggles of these early years forged a community that was deeply committed to its beliefs and to one another. The faith that had begun in the shadow of the cross now showed that it could thrive even under the shadow of persecution. The growth of Christianity in the face of these challenges was a testament to the power of its message and the dedication of its followers. What had started as small, secretive gatherings in homes and catacombs was slowly but surely becoming a force that would eventually transform the Roman Empire itself. The faith that many had hoped to silence was instead finding its voice, speaking ever more loudly of hope, love, and redemption. In the crucible of persecution, the early Christian church was refined and strengthened. The struggles it faced did not weaken its resolve, but instead galvanized its members, deepening their faith and broadening their impact. From these humble and often difficult beginnings, a movement was born that would go on to shape the course of history, touching lives across the globe for centuries to come.